I'm Hegmo, and this week we're going to be continuing our Prime Weapons series, in which we take a look at each of the Prime Weapons at stage 4 or higher. This week I want to talk about Loughnashade. At some point I looked up how to pronounce that properly, and you can just go ahead and tell me in the comments how poorly I am pronouncing it, but let's take a look anyway. So, should you make Loughnashade in 2025? Yes. Okay, fine. We'll explain why, but as a general statement, as a Bard main or as someone who's looking to pick up Bard at a high-end level of play, you should absolutely make Loughnashade for a few reasons. It's an extremely potent buff for any physical party setup in a high attack situation, and there's a lot of convenience features that come along with it as well. Let's dive into it. Loughnashade is a horn that is usable by Bard exclusively. Unlike most of the other primes, it does not give access to a special weapon skill or an aftermath or anything like that, but it does provide a significant buff to the Bard and to the party. At stage 4, it has 15 charisma, it grants an additional song effect, and has all songs +3, and it provides access to the unique song Aria of Passion. At stage 5, those stats increase to 20 charisma, it grants 2 additional song effects, and has all songs +4. This is a relatively huge moment for Bards, as at stage 5 it essentially combines the primary benefit of Horn, the Bard Relic Horn, with +4 songs, and the 2 additional song effect from Dardabla, Bard's Mythic. If you're a Bard main, you're going to have to make Dardabla and Horn anyway, as if you can be a Bard main doing Ammonon clears without Dardabla or Horn, I'll be extremely impressed, but the implication is pretty great. Any Bard main would know that Bard is all about instrument swapping. You sing 4 songs with Dardabla to benefit from the 2 additional song slots. You then re-sing songs with Horn to bump those songs up to full potency, benefiting from the all songs +4. If you want Honor March, which you probably do, you have to sing that first with Marcius, your Aeonic, before switching to Dardabla. Same thing with Aria of Passion. If you want to sing Aria, which you're probably going to want to do in a high buff situation, you have to sing that with your Prime Horn, and then you have to sing Honor March, and then you have to sing your other 2 songs with Dardabla, and then you switch back to Horn and sing the 2 songs that can't be sung with other instruments. It's a complicated job to play. At stage 5, Bard no longer has to do this instrument swap to get the 4-song full potency. You get the 2 additional songs and the full potency all on one instrument. Outside of a few niche cases where you might benefit from the instrument skill on Horn, you no longer need Dardabla or Horn in your rotation. You can put up Honor March, and then you can do all of your singing with Loughnashade. This is a huge convenience for Bards, and for non-Bards, it means that if you invest in Loughnashade, you can essentially become a Bard at a high level of play, skipping the need to make the Relic and the Empyrean in your process. But let's be honest, nobody's spending 8.5 million Gallimafree on convenience. So what is the real reason to make this Prime? The answer is Aria of Passion. Aria is a song that's only usable with the Prime Horn equipped. It provides a physical damage limit, or PDL boost, which is often a very misunderstood stat. So here we go. If you've played Final Fantasy XI in 2024, you've probably seen PDL on gear. It's provided as a passive trait for most physical damage dealers. It's an augment on JSE Nex. It's on a lot of gear like Malignants and Gleddies and a lot of the Empyrean +3 stuff as well. But what does it do? To explore this, we unfortunately have to do math. So let's look at a few equations here. Physical damage, the base damage for physical damage done with an auto attack is quite simple. It's base damage times PDIF. So let's expand that a little bit further and look at those components. Base damage is the base damage that you can do. It's your weapon damage stat, the stat on your weapon itself, where it says DMG equals something, plus F strength, the difference between your strength and your target's VIT. So to expand our equation, physical damage equals weapon damage plus your strength minus the target's VIT, and then we multiply that by the PDIF. PDIF is a ratio between your attack and your target's defense that is capped based on your weapon type and job traits. There's a great chart that you can look at over on bgwiki.com. And as we can see by looking at this chart, as a warrior using a two-handed weapon, my non-crit PDIF is 3.95 maximum. So the max ratio I can have between my attack and my target's defense is 3.95. So the maximum attack I can have is 3.95 times my enemy's defense. For the sake of this equation, physical damage is going to equal weapon damage plus my strength minus my target's VIT times 3.95. And this is where PDL comes in. PDL increases your PDIF ratio. So that 3.95 we found in the chart just a moment ago can be increased, increasing our maximum physical damage directly. Singing Aria of Passion with a Moonbow Whistle +1 gives 20.8% PDL. That increases my PDIF cap from 3.95 to 4.158. Now, is that significant? Let's plug in some hypothetical numbers just to look. Say my weapon does exactly 300 base damage, and I have exactly 200 strength, and my target has exactly 100 VIT. These are the variables we need to calculate our physical damage based on our equation above. Without any PDL added, using that base 3.95 we got from the chart, our physical damage is going to equal 300 plus F strength, my strength 200 minus the target's VIT 100, making 100. So 300 plus 100 is 400. And then we're going to multiply 400 by 3.95. Means our attack should do about 1,580 damage on average. If we apply the 20.8% PDL from Aria to that equation, we have the same equation. Physical damage equals 300 plus 200 minus 100 times 4.158. That alone would increase my physical damage, the attack damage I do, to 1,663. So a direct increase in the maximum amount of damage that I can do. Now, this is all assuming that we're attack capped. So let's take a look and we can illustrate it here. I'm fighting a Locust Bite Rarib. I have no attack buffs, and I have about 2,122 attack on my warrior, and my auto attacks are hitting for about 500 to 750 damage. As I add attack from Honor March, from Chaos Roll, from Geo Fury, and I reduce the enemy's defense with Frailty and Dia, you can see my attack increase to 4,168, while my enemy's defense decreases. This is increasing that PDIF significantly, right? Because we're taking my attack and dividing by the enemy's defense. So as my attack goes up and the enemy's defense goes down, my PDIF number increases. And you can see that directly affecting my damage done, right? My attack increases to 2,000 to 2,150 damage per hit. At this point, we can see that we've hit a PDIF cap. And we can see that because as we add more attack to our character, we're not going to see more damage. So our Bard is going to give us 2 minuets here, increasing our attack from 4,168 to 4,889. And you'll see that our attack damage stays about the same. We can further illustrate this by using Berserk, increasing our attack all the way up to 5,605, and our damage still stays the same. We're still hovering around that 2,000 to 2,100 per hit damage range. What does this mean? That means that we're PDIF capped, right? Our attack can increase all the way up to 9,999, and our auto attacks would continue to do the same damage as they did at 5,000 attack because our PDIF can't increase beyond that 3.95 ratio. And this is where PDL and Aria of Passion come in. Our Bard is going to sing Aria of Passion for us, adding about 20% PDL, and you'll see our damage done instantly increases from 2,000 to around 2,500. This is pretty big. Every single auto attack at this point is doing 25% more damage just with the addition of PDL. This one song is giving us 25% increased damage output. We can further illustrate this by adding Soul Voice, which is going to multiply the buff that Aria is giving. As our PDIF cap increases even further, we can see we're doing close to 2,900 to even 3,000 damage per auto attack. That's a nearly 50% increase over the original pre-PDL cap of 2,000 damage per auto attack. And that's pretty awesome. Just with this one song, we're increasing our damage output by up to 50%. Now, on the other side of this, you may be asking yourself, you're doing the math, you're looking at the equation, what if I'm not PDIF capped? What if I'm not a crazy overbuffed warrior with Berserk, Bolstered Fury, and Frailty, Soul Voice songs, Chaos Roll, and everything else? What will PDL do for me in that case? Absolutely nothing. We can see in this clip here, we have no buffs on our warrior. We just have haste and protect. There's no attack buffs going on. And when our bard sings Aria of Passion here, our damage does not increase at all. We're under the PDIF cap, so increasing that cap does absolutely nothing for our damage. As a result, Aria of Passion, PDL, these stats become extremely beneficial in extremely high buff scenarios. So if you're a solo player, and you're only putting up a few buffs or playing with trust, you might not see the benefit of the PDL. But as soon as you get into an endgame group, you'll see significant increases to your damage. So, should you make Loughnashade? Yes, Aria of Passion is an obscenely potent buff, increasing our damage potential significantly in high buff scenarios. Loughnashade's passive buffs as well, replacing the need for instrument switching, is huge as a quality of life improvement for career bards and newer bards who might be switching to the job after unlocking and finishing their mains weapons or something like that. It's a huge quality of life improvement. Definitely recommend 10 out of 10 Hangmos. Make this weapon. If you have any interest in bard, or if you have a bard in your group, which you probably do, encourage them to make this. It's going to be a huge increase to your composition and your ability to clear content. This is our fourth video in the Prime weapon series. We've been going through and taking a look at the primes that our group has access to, and I hope to share more information and more videos showcasing these different weapons to help inform your decisions moving forward. If you enjoyed this video or you found it informative, feel free to like and subscribe to the video. It really helps out with the algorithm, and I appreciate the support wholeheartedly. If I screwed something up or you still don't understand PDIF like I may not, leave a comment down below, and maybe somebody in the community or myself can provide a little bit more context and a little bit more information to clarify how these things work. I stream Final Fantasy XI along with other games and other activities like cooking streams and model builds and things like that over at twitch.tv/Hegmo. So if you'd like to follow along with our adventure live, feel free to join us over there as well. And that's all we have for this week. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.